Thank you for staying with us. I'm Melisa Idris. I'm talking to Preetipls, who is a social media personality in Singapore, who was embroiled in some controversy a few months ago. Tell me, Preeti, I'm kind of struggling to understand a little bit why the Singaporean authorities got involved. Did you contravene a law? Was this considered hate speech? Can you explain it to us?
So it was under the Sedition Act, which is insane that this was seditious, but it was because my video was seen as a video that was trying to create a strife between races in Singapore. But it's tricky because my content has always been promoting racial harmony in Singapore, and I'm an Indian girl who speaks Mandarin. So I grew up studying Mandarin my whole life. So I've made fun of the fact that I'm a brown girl who speaks Mandarin, and I celebrate Chinese New Year with most of my friends in Singapore who are obviously Chinese. And I celebrate Deepavali, and my family is as Indian as it gets. And I show that side of my life and my family, and I also show the struggles that I face being a brown girl that speaks Mandarin. And I think it's so tricky because I've made Chinese New Year videos, Deepavali videos, and I have a rap song in Mandarin. You know, like I just embrace what I've had to go through my whole life, and everything that has been a negative experience in my childhood, I've just made it into a song. I've made it into a funny video. I've learned to laugh at myself a lot. Okay. So I think it got very confusing when I was deemed as a racist, and when they put that label on me, it was really scary because if you just take a look, if you just Google Preetipls Chinese and you see the videos that come out and all me speaking Mandarin, me doing a makeup tutorial in Mandarin, and I'm like, that's such a foreign concept to be racist or even say something racist to me.
Was this coming from the top or was it coming from the bottom? In a sense, did you feel it? Did the backlash come organically from your fellow Singaporeans, or did it come from Singapore authorities and then trickle down?
It was definitely from the state. It was definitely trickling down because, yeah, like I said, I don't think a lot of people form their own opinions on the video.
It was taken down so quickly.
Yeah. So I think they just read the news and every single news article you will see offensive video or racist like siblings. You'll see the words that were just thrown across the whole local media
sphere.
Can
we talk about that? Can we talk about the media coverage of this video and the controversy surrounding it? Yeah. Singapore media is largely controlled by the government through different ways as well, directly or indirectly. Did you get any support from what was considered alternative media, from social media? Were you tracking the conversations?
I think a lot of independent media outlets. So there were a lot of websites online like...
Rice Media wrote a piece as well, yes?
Rice Media. Vice also did an interview, a full-length interview on my brother and I. And we kind of told our side of the story there. So New Narrative. There were a lot of people on Twitter, like the editor of Mina magazine, you know, so many people were just supporting us, and social media was filled with so much support. And I think like to a lot of people it just looks like, okay, are you okay? Are you receiving a lot of hate? But honestly, the support was insane.
Did you speak to traditional media, to the mainstream media outlets? Did they reach out to you?
Yeah. So the moment I received like news articles, I was overseas, and I don't know how everyone got my phone number, but every single media outlet in Singapore had my phone number. Okay. Everyone wanted a statement. They wanted me to comment on something. I ignored every single outlet, and I only spoke to Vice and Bureau.
Why did you ignore that? I mean, this was your chance to set the record straight, so to speak. Your chance to get your side out to mainstream media, to the media corps of Singapore. Yeah. Why didn't you speak to them?
I think it's because I thought the video was very straightforward. I had so many disclaimers in my rap video, but still, somehow the message got misconstrued.
Disclaimers meaning?
I had a disclaimer. I literally, at the end of my rap video, there was a disclaimer where I said, not all Chinese people are racist. I'm only talking about racist people here.
You actually said that?
I explicitly said that line. So after that, I think it's a bit like, okay, there's no way I'm going to talk to you without actually seeing the piece that's going to go out or seeing your exact words before you press publish on a post.
It's that distrust of the media.
For sure. So there was no one I trusted enough to speak to about this entire incident until it was all kind of like settled down, the dust all settled down, and we had our conditional warning already, and that was when we were comfortable enough to speak to Vice, because we knew the writer of the article personally, so we were like, okay, we trust you enough to tell our truth and write the story as neutrally as possible and not just call us racist or add in those controversial words just to sensationalize the news.
You mentioned the conditional warning, so this was after the investigation. Can you walk us through what happened after the investigation?
Okay, so we had like a couple of days of interrogations, and forensics took all of our electronics, and all those things happened.
Confiscated all your laptops?
Yeah, for like a day. My laptop, my hard disk, my phone for a couple of hours. And after all that, it was the National Day week in Singapore. So it was a long weekend, and of course, we knew the outcome was either going to come out like right before National Day, or it was going to be after the long weekend.
Do you feel the timing
had
something to do with that because of the sense of patriotism? Or the
Yeah, we knew that it was just so tricky, because when everything came out, the state said things like, okay, the siblings, they were very influenced by the West. They use words like that just because we made a rap video. But when you stream the National Day telecast on TV, there were rappers on TV. There were rappers on National Day rapping about Singapore. And when it's inconvenient, you immediately disassociate
it's not the medium,
from rap.
Right? It's the message.
Exactly.
Isn't it? Okay.
So it was very funny how they quickly tried to disassociate from rap and said it's a thing from the West. But you see on the National Day stage in Singapore, there are rappers up there. So you can't blame us for being influenced by the West when you're taking this from the West and putting it to like
can't be
say
selective,
your own narratives.
Right?
Exactly.
Well, talk to me about the conditional warning.
Okay, so we received a 2-year conditional warning. So this was under the Sedition Act, under the Penal Code, and this meant that in the next 2 years, if we commit any crime in Singapore, we can be charged in court for the rap video. Yeah.
So this is probation on good behavior. So you have to be on your best behavior.
Pretty much.
How has that affected your craft, your art, your work?
It's been so tricky, because after this entire case, I still wanted to put out as many videos as possible. Life goes on, you know.
Sure.
I'm pretty pleased. I make funny videos. I make a National Day video every year, and this wasn't going to change it. So before my outcome came out, I did put a National Day video out, and that was a pretty tricky time, because whatever I say in this video will affect my outcome. So I did speak to a lot of lawyers who were like so helpful.
You decided to put out a video before
my outcome
the decision.
Yes.
That's a very risky move to do that. Why was that a conscious decision?
I think it was important because I wanted all my supporters and my fans, followers, or people who just knew our true intentions to know that I'm always going to be here using my platform to speak up about things that I don't feel are right in Singapore.
So to show that you're not afraid.
Yeah,
as well.
I want to, not really not afraid, but more like unfazed, and I'm here to stay, and I'm here to talk about things that I will always want to fight for. With my platform.
Okay, we're going to come back and talk a little bit more about this right here on Consider This. Make sure you don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.